mid-November bout with winter arriving during the peak of the evening rush hour, causing crashes and delays into the night.
Jack Frost was welcomed a little bit too soon for me.
Commute to stay overnight at the school. In Maryland, state police responding to more than 300 crashes in just 6 hours.
The brake wall, and that's the direction the 30 knots of wind was coming from last night. So the boats were just bucking. That one wrapped around the cleat and back to the boat. That's the line that we broke last night, and if you look at how thick that is, that's a 1-inch dock line. Hey, let's get ready to suffer.
Let's go.
Even record 2 complicated.
I press on it, it didn't show because I have my glove.
Yeah,
now I'm recording.
And the word record.
Yes,
you didn't
it's there.
Notice there's no word record.
There you go, like
Stop
TV.
and start. Oh, fuck. The longest rest WildChild has had so far. I think we've been here 4 or 5 days. We had to wait for 2 severe storms to pass through. We're about to head out back into the ocean, and I gotta tell you, we're going out to take a beating. Like, it's a pounding, sailing is miserable, it's hard, it's thrashy, it's stressful constantly. So let's get geared up, let's go take our beating. They had just shut off the dock water that morning, so we had to cart in the water by jerry can. Didn't YouTube say that sailing life is all glamour? And so we left that mid-November morning. We pulled out of Old Comfort Marina, heading for the ocean. It's time to make our jump around the dreaded Cape Hattaras. We're on the backside of nasty weather, but the theory is there should be 3 good days in front of us. Let's hope things clear up and the weather forecasts are accurate this time, or we're gonna get hurt.
Almost good afternoon, sailor.
Yeah, it's 12 noon and our plan was to leave around 11 or 12. The winds this morning were 25 knots. I don't like really 25 knots. Right now the winds are, report from the helm is 15 over 5.7, double reefed main, no Jenny. Dead run, wind angle 179 degrees. So it's almost dead behind. Conditions are calm and it's supposed to be sunny for a week and getting calmer. But we got 120 nautical miles to Cape Hattaras, and then from Cape Hattaras another 40 nautical miles to the first possible place to land. So we have to get 160 nautical miles, no safety stops, no backup, no plan B. It's got to go well. We're trusting the wind forecast, but how often can you actually trust them, right?
There's another sailboat.
5 days because back-to-back nasty weather came through. The weather's been severe, like record-breaking, worst in 100 years. Just terrible.
And this morning, watching the news, New York was under snow.
Yep, and Washington, D.C., the worst snow since the 1800s for this time of year.
Wow.
To Point Comfort Marina, and one of the things that we always do in WildChild is we start out with a double reefed main, because you can't be sure of the conditions. And when it was just 25 knots, but we got out here and the sailing conditions are actually lovely. So we're seeing an average of 9 or 10, so we'll shake that second reef out of the main, and then we will, once we make the corner, we'll pull the Jenny. It's a whole bunch of sailboats leaving at this time as well. And then we have a bit of a corner to the right, and when we turn the corner to the right, we'll jibe the boom and we'll pull out the Jenny. Welcome to Chesapeake Bay, sailing fans. Friday, November 16th. Defies us. We're leaving Norfolk under perfect conditions, 16 over 6, single reef in the main, running winds. You don't get better sailing weather. And here comes a 128-foot sailboat behind us that can't be bothered to raise its sails. All sailboats seem to motor. No matter how good the sailing conditions are, they never raise their sails. I don't understand it. If you wanted a motorboat, buy a motorboat. If you wanted to sail and conditions are good, why don't you sail? Not a real sailor.
So we left Hampton in Chesapeake Bay this morning, almost afternoon. but I feel this is a completely different trip. Okay, it's cold today, but we're getting more south, and that's unusual to be that type of weather and temperature. It's between 10 and 14 degrees, so it's unusual basically. But I feel that the nasty, cold, foggy is behind us, and now we're going to relax more sailing. Today it's a beautiful day of sailing.
The weather forecast is accurate so far. Let's hope this keeps up as we're exiting Chesapeake Bay heading back out to the ocean. So we have to get around the dreaded, scary Cape Hattaras. We have a minimum of a 200-mile jump in front of us, but we're not really sure where we're going. It'll depend on the conditions. Maybe to Wilmington, maybe to Myrtle Beach, or maybe to Charleston, South Carolina. WildChild is such a good girl. I love this boat. Cuts the water like a knife, can sail in any conditions and any wind angle. She just moves, even in light winds. Look at her go. You might have to be a true sailor to appreciate how sexy this is. Well, oh crap. How cool is this? You can believe that all military vessels are keeping a very close eye on every other boat around them. They're watching us. Delina that I just called on the radio, they're 52 feet I think. They're about to overtake us. I was really impressed with them because they had sails up, but if you look closely, they've also got their motor on. If you can see the water, where's the camera? There we go. You can see at the back they're spitting out water from their engine. Perfect sailing conditions with sails up, and still they got the motor on, and we're doing 6 knots. I don't know why people just don't sail. Like, how crazy is that to keep your motor on with perfect sailing conditions? WildChild has been pretty much solo sailing for 4 months now. All of a sudden we find ourselves in the middle of a fleet of sailboats. Look at the AIS. Well, it's unusual for WildChild, but we're sailing in a convoy. We're not really used to that. We're used to always sailing alone. We've done 2,000 miles mostly alone, hardly ever seeing any other boats. There's a boat there. There's a boat there. There's another boat behind it there. There's a boat there. There's a boat there. There's a boat there. And there's another boat back there. Hold on, let me find it. There we go.
So, it's 4:26, 4:30, almost 4:30. The sun is going down, so around 5 o'clock. Let me clean that lens.
Michelle is on watch when we have our first dolphin sighting. He is as excited as a puppy. I'm down below but come running up with the camera. Too late to grab the footage, but he saw them. There are dolphins out there. Does anybody see them? Look, look. There's dolphins. They're out there.
Lexi was on the helm from 12 since we left until now. Now it's my turn. And it's great. It's fabulous sailing. It's 14/7. It's on the beam. It's moving a little bit on the stern. So running, between running and beam. beautiful sailing, no wave. It was supposed to be 6 feet wave, swell of 4 feet. So there's a lot of sailboat around us. So everybody is taking opportunity of that window. So that's fabulous. Let's see a little bit. Oh, right there. There's some. You see some spray of dolphin, but they're not too close. It's so exciting. The sun is sunset. Hey, right there, honey.
And so with the sun setting, Michelle is on the helm, as excited as a puppy to search for dolphins.
Right here. 100 feet.
The water is warmer as we approach Cape Hattaras, but the sun is setting, and it's going to be pitch black soon. I'll admit, as much as the ocean scares me, sometimes she can be really beautiful. And so under calm conditions in the ocean, darkness descends upon us once again. Well, it's nighttime. It's around 8:30. Michelle has asked me to come up and relieve him on night watch. Conditions on the boat seem good. Beam reach 13 knots. The boat's doing 6.7. Everything's calm. Battery banks. That is refrigeration. That is helm electronics doing the autopilot, getting us through the night. And then that's house. I find long shifts at the helm kind of boring, especially in the dark. So I tuck my headphones in under all the layers of sweaters and foul weather gear that I wear to keep me company. I listen to BBC radio podcasts, and they help me not feel alone in the dark. Well, 8 o'clock, I'm getting ready to go up on watch and relieve Michelle. Gotta dress warm. It's time for me to go up on deck for watch. Hey baby, how goes it?
Pardon me?
How goes it?
Good. So it's 16 over 6.87. So the wind is going between 14 and 16 now. It's on the beam and between beam and running.
Should we furl some Jenny?
I think it's
Seems
should be
okay.
14 over 7.
Okay, you're not seeing 20 knots.
Oh no. No.
Okie dokie, here I come. Well, hi guys. It's we're doing another night sail. The ocean down south is so much calmer than the ocean in northeast New England in October, November. We're the middle of November off Norfolk. It's 11:20 at night. Michelle's just getting up from his nap, and I'm going to go have my nap. Conditions are pretty calm. We're 12 over 6. We were 20 over 7.9, so I had to reef a few hours ago. It's cold. Temperature's coming down, but
We're going south.
we're going south. Okay. It actually takes a certain amount of nerves to be able to sail the ocean at night in total darkness by instruments alone. And then the chart plotter says local magnetic disturbances, and you wonder, am I going to lose my gyro compass in the dark? Will the autopilot flip out? Good morning, guys. It's Saturday, November 17th at 5:30 a.m. WildChild's been sailing all night. You can see from some of the earlier footage, there's actually quite a few sailboats around in the dark. Everybody left Norfolk pretty much at the same time. A whole group of us, about 10. Most have AIS, some don't. We've passed some and some have passed us. The sun is going to rise soon. You can see on the AIS, we see that one, but we don't see the one behind it. But the radar shows us there's the one we can see on AIS, and there's a contact behind him. So when we're sailing in the dark, we generally keep our navigation lights turned off. We turn them on about once every 15 minutes so people around us can have a chance to see us, but the problem is the white light in the back blinds us, so then we can't see anymore. The red and green lights, I don't know, it's just a waste of power. You can only see them when you're close anyways. We keep the anchor light on all the time so that at least we have a white light at the top. The nav lights we turn on once every 15 minutes. We turn the spreader lights on once every half hour, just for a few seconds, just to light us up so anybody around not an AIS can say, hey, look, there's a sailboat. And then we keep watch. Oh. And this is what you do on watch. Every 15 minutes you get up, you look around in the dark through the windows for any signs of lights from other boats. You turn on the radar, you look around for any contacts, you check the AIS. We're about 22 miles from Cape Hattaras. I had to slow WildChild down, so I've already reefed the sails. I definitely don't want to round Cape Hattaras in the dark. We should arrive there, in the morning around 9 or 10 a.m. The winds are pretty light, which is sort of good and bad. Good that the ocean is calm, good that the rounding of Cape Hattaras should go gently. There's Cape Hattaras. Dreaded Cape Hattaras with the Gulf Stream comes closest to land. We're going to try and slip between. Our goal will be to slip as close as possible around, stay out of the Gulf Stream, which is just a few miles offshore, come around the point and then get tucked back in. With the faintest glimmer of the sunrise on the horizon, WildChild is safe as we approach Cape Hattaras, and our journey nearly ends in disaster.